Just really, really proud of you know, how we handled non-conference, and then obviously when you get into conference play, your number one goal is to try to figure out a way to you know, get a #1 seed and to win your conference, and mission accomplished on both ends. Obviously the San Diego State's one of our 3 losses, and I thought our guys did a great job. From an adjustment standpoint, we changed up how we played pick and rolls, something we haven't done all season long, and I thought that, you know, that we did a great job. And then San Diego State did a great job offensively in the first half of throwing over the top of our traps on pick and rolls, and they looked weak side, and that's what opened up their 3-ball. And you know, I thought other than that 5-minute stretch right before half when Cody Martin had to come out because of the fouls, other than that, we played really, really good basketball. And I thought defensively when we came out at halftime, I thought defensively, second half wise, was as good as we played all year, holding them to 5 of 25 from the field. And then on the glass, we were extremely physical, rebounding the basketball for the whole 40 minutes.
How would you sum up that entire regular season now it's over? I mean, so much pressure on you guys to go 20-3.
You know, everybody wants to win every game, but the venues that we have to go to and the way we travel and such is probably unrealistic to do it in the Mountain West, quite frankly, because of, and certainly for us to play in front of sold-out buildings night after night after night after night on the road. Tell me we're 28-3 and headed into the Mountain West Conference tournament as a #1 seed at the beginning of the year. I would have said, sign me up. Where can I sign? I just think that because of the national pressure, it's unlike anything I've experienced. And these guys, you know, they did a great job all year long. I mean, we played one bad game. We're 31 games in. We played a bad game against New Mexico. But we didn't play bad against San Diego State. We didn't play bad against Utah State. They're both good teams. They're both talented. And both nights those teams beat us. We beat ourselves against New Mexico. And that happens, you know, to college teams. You look at a team like Marquette, they're ranked. I think today when I was watching before our game, they've lost 4 in a row. It's just hard to win. It's really hard to win.
How'd it feel good to send this particular senior class out this way, especially with probably one of your best halves of ball?
Yeah, probably drove everybody in, you know, upstairs a little crazy because one day we were going to do the senior night after, and then we changed, but I guess they'd come to expect the unexpected, and Rory made the right decision. I was just worried about how we would play. With all the emotions, it's hard, you know, when you've got 7 guys like that that are so meaningful to the program and to the crowd. I mean, we had an incredible crowd tonight. But I thought the way we started the game, you know, you always wonder on a senior night, are you going to get behind? Are you going to be distracted? Where's your mind going to be? And I thought I thought they were single-minded in how they came out prepared. We had an incredibly enthusiastic shoot-around today. Incredible. I mean, I walked in early and guys were here fully. I was actually worried that guys were doing too much this afternoon, but they were ready, and I think there's a relief right now for our guys, and you know, I'm hoping that we can go to this tournament and play free like we did last year, where we're shooting threes and we're getting up and down the floor quick. And I thought you saw spurts of that tonight.
2:02 left, you took out the Martin Jones and North Carolina and embraced them. I guess what can you share about that moment? What did it mean to you?
Yeah, no, I just told them I loved them and thanked them for taking me and my family on this ride. Jordan for 3 years, and you know, Cody and Caleb the last 2 years playing, and you know, I mean, those guys are, you know, they're to myself and my family. I mean, it's a lot different coaching guys like this, you know, because this is only my 4th year, and you know, now that guys have been with us like Jordan for 3 years, it's just a lot different experience than coaching at the NBA level. I don't think after the last game with the Kings, I was hugging everybody. crying and telling them I love them. I don't think that really happened. That a world peace. Kmart, my dad, so it is different.
You talked about some defensive tweaks you made. How did you balance that, knowing you might have to play them again in less than a week?
I mean, I think really, Mark, our big thing, like, we just wanted to win this thing, to put ourselves, the way that they do the seeding and the times of the games and stuff. I mean, and we know how hard it is, like, to do this thing 3 years in a row. I just told the guys behind closed doors, like, this is so hard to do in any conference. And that, one of our goals was to win the regular season, and I've said it, to all of our local media for 4 years now. I truly believe that winning the conference regular season is much more powerful and much more meaning than getting hot for 3 games. Having said that, 2 years ago we won both. Last year San Diego State thumped us, and we didn't play very good, and they played phenomenal. We'd like to go to this tournament and have different results than we did last year. We've got to take one game at a time, and all tonight did was it allowed us to put us in a position to reward a full regular season. And so we weren't really worried about, if we play, them again and seeing a soft trap or a soft blitz on pick and rolls, because it'll be our job to come up with something different next game, or a slight tweak. And like I said, I thought we had to get out of it because Coach Dutch did a great job, and they were throwing to the weak side where our help was on the roll down, and that's why they shot the ball so well from 3, because they got open looks based on the hole in our defense. Was instead of a ball handler like it was in game 1 with Watson and Hemsley, now it was thrown over the top to 3 balls, and we got to work on our rotations and stuff as well.
I know you hope there's a lot of weeks left in the season, but I wonder at this moment if you could just sum up what this home slate meant for you this particular year in Northern Nevada and just what it all meant.
I mean, I think tonight tied an all-time school record, so we'll have to go get that thing next year, first game. But, I mean, to go undefeated, I mean, we played some, to go undefeated in conference is hard at home, and then to do the non-conference, because there were some games that we thought were really quality opponents, non-conference as well, and it's just hard to do. But we have a great crowd. I mean, it's turned into, I'm sure if you ask Jordan or myself or Coach Ruda, like, it wasn't like this the first year. And really special and neat to, I mean, I was out of tickets. I had a college teammate drive over from Sacramento, Marty Munn, and I could not get him a ticket until the very, very last minute. So, and I don't know if my son snuck him in through the tunnel or what, but it's hard to get people ticket. It's hard to get a ticket even as a head coach right now.
I noticed you pulled all the guys that were sitting out aside after they cut the net. Was that just a message about we want to do this again next year, or what were you telling those guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I told him, Chris, was I hope you're soaking this in and understand the hard work that all these guys have and what we did in the summer, and you have a big responsibility because the expectations are such that, that the goal is going to be to do this again next year. We lose a lot, but we know we lose a lot, and we're going to replenish, and we're going to work hard to replace the talent and the character. I think more importantly, the character of the guys we have, because they practice so hard and they're so in tune in video sessions and have such great maturity that it's a coach's job to try to find some guys that can carry the torch from these guys.
Coach, when they go 9 from 12 and 9 for 12 in the first half from 3, is the message there that, look, this will even out? We'll ride this. What you've told us that you think that no team can keep that going. Was that the message?
I think, Duke, we had to do a better job of defending the 3, which we did, and that's why, in the second half, you just look at those numbers, and they were 1 and 9. But we changed our coverages as well. We changed a couple of our matchups throughout the second half a little bit more, and I thought we played better gap defense. We watched film from game 1, and we gave up too many layups and too many dunks. And so, when you try to take away the dunks and the layups, you're going to probably give up some threes, and that's what happened tonight.
Any more questions for Coach?
Thank you. Congrats, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Any different feeling doing it this year as the last 2 years? Or is it,
I'm gonna have Jordan.
It's just good feeling as any, each year it just feels just good each time you win it. First, even the last is it's a great feeling.
What was the inspiration for the hair? At least did it guess.
What's good?
No, I'm just
Mellow with the Nuggets.
Oh.
Yeah, go back a little bit.
Plus, you kind of wanted to blend in with the Twins, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm triple now.
you guys all came off at the same time with the 202 mark and the game in hand. I guess what did that moment mean to you to embrace Coach Musselman and just know what you guys were accomplished for a third straight season?
It was great, especially the last time being able to play in front of the home crowd. There was a lot to take in. I had to control my emotions, make sure I didn't tear up a little bit. So I didn't know waterworks.
Did you ever get close to crying? I mean, you got by far the loudest applause during the pregame.
Yeah, but I thought to myself, I can't be like this tough guy and go cry right before the game. So just held it in.
Coach mentioned that one worry on a senior night or a night similar to this is it come out tight, come out worried, that sort of thing. You guys came out hot though. Was that any sort of relief, or was that expected?
I mean, I think especially starting 5 seniors, we just came out like it was the last time we had to do this. It was kind of like you just play free and just because you can't get it back. So I think it was pretty easy for us to play free and go get it from the jump.
You guys got up 15 pretty early, and they're in huge foul trouble. The crowd's going crazy. You surprised they were able to get back into it? And how did you guys have to sort of assess at halftime?
No, not at all. They're a really talented team, and they make runs at all times. So, I mean, we talked about it before games. We just got to endure their runs, and we just got to brace for that. We can't be rattled if they get back into it, and I think that's what we did.
When you envision senior night, is this about as good as it could have been for you guys?
Oh, yeah. I feel like it's kind of like a storybook inning when you think of senior night, playing for a conference championship in front of the home crowd, and to do it against one of the teams that beats you handily. So I think it's against a rival, so I think it's a pretty dope experience.
Jordan, 16 points for them in the second half. I mean, to me, that rivals the Utah State game here with 49 points. As far as a half goes, is that about your best half of defense, team-wise?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I can't think of two of the other times off the top of our head, but we kept the team under 20 and a half. So I would say it was one of our better halves.
I'd imagine, you want to go into a tournament situation showing other teams, we didn't mess around. We won our last game, and look, we gave up 16 points in the second half. Do you think you're sending any sort of message?
I mean, I think it's more so you just want to peak at the right time, and I think it's kind of what we're doing. We're going to trend upward, especially going into tournament time. And I feel like right after this game, we can say we are.
What are you going to remember the most about playing in this stadium, in this arena?
The fans, sure. Just the fan love we get and just how into it they are.
Coach kind of said that he feels like some pressure is off now because of so much expectations for the regular season. Do you feel like that going into tournament play now, that there is less pressure just because you were able to accomplish that conference championship that we're going to do?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, because at this point it's just one and done. So, I mean, you really can't play with too much pressure because if you do and you lose, you're done. So, I feel like it's easier to play in type of situations in a tournament because if you lose, it's over with. So, you just got to go play out and just give your all.
It's probably the best regular season in school history. Most wins by one, only 3 losses, top ranking ever. How would you just sum up what you guys accomplished this regular season?
Special for sure. It's not an easy task, and especially with the expectations coming in, it's not an easy thing to handle and stay level-headed through. So I think we did a great job of doing that.
What'll be the emphasis from you guys moving forward now that it's just kind of you versus everyone at this point?
Win. Just take each game as it is and make sure we win that game.
Is it kind of fun when you go into this part of the season knowing it's just like by any means necessary? We don't have known opponents that we got to plan for. It's just any means necessary game in front of us.
Oh yeah, without doubt. You just going in playing 40 minutes and trying to come out as the winner because that's all you can do. Because if you lose, you're done. So I think this is a great time of the season. It just really shows you who you are.
Does that allow you guys, as Coach said multiple times, he wants you guys to play free, especially this time of the year. Does that allow you to play even more free, knowing that it's just this the task in front of us and it's win or go home?
Oh yeah, without doubt, it's a lot easier to play when you the only option is like other option is you lose and you're just going home. So I mean, it's kind of like why not just play as hard as you can? Why not just leave it all out there?
Have you thought about having to play these guys again in the league, but in a probably pretty dead environment, not anything approaching this?
I mean, I didn't think about it yet, but last time we played them in Vegas, it actually was pretty loud. They treated their fans traveled pretty well. I mean, it's always fun playing them. They're a really talented team, but I haven't really given too much thought yet.
They got you guys by 9 rebounds in the first game. You got them by 17 in this game. Why were you guys so much more effective on the glass?
I think we just made it as an emphasis throughout practice, just make sure we got on the glass. Like, it was pretty that we lost the battle of the board, so I think we came into the game knowing we had to do the win.
Any more questions for Jordan? Thank you.
Not as good as you could have envisioned senior night going down. What was that on the line and everything?
Yeah, I don't think it could have been a better situation for us. I think that a lot of people were worried about emotional-wise before the game and stuff like that, and if it would affect our play. And, I mean, it showed that it didn't. I think all it did was boost us and just made us go that much harder knowing it was our last game in there. And, the crowd couldn't have been any better. I mean, they really brought it for us. They were really into it, excited, so we can't thank them enough.
What did you like about the way that you guys played that can obviously propel you into the rest of March?
I mean, I think that the biggest thing for us is that we defended and then we shared the ball. And we played hard. We played really, really hard. And obviously, it being our last game probably had something to do with it, but at the same time, I think that we approach the game like that every single time. Sometimes we get it done, sometimes we don't, but for the most part, consistency is the biggest thing for us, and I think, going into the game, we were really focused and honed in on what we needed to do.
Coach had mentioned one of his worries was on a night like this, you could be tight, you could be emotional. You never know how that's going to play out. And then I kind of chuckle when I see you made a shot 6 seconds into the game. So yeah. I don't think that applied.
I mean, I think when you got older guys with a lot of experience and stuff like that, I don't think it affects them. And I don't know, we play for each other at the same time. And at the end of the day, it's another game. And obviously realizing it's our last game, but we're going to play the same way every single time. Start off being aggressive and playing with confidence, and I mean that's what we did tonight. And we play for each other like we do every single game, and we played hard. And I think that's what really brought us up to the top is just our intensity and our effort.
Coach pulled you two and Jordan off at the same time, 2:02 left. I thought that was really appropriate given what you guys have done for the program together. I guess what did that moment mean to you? What did you say to you guys succeeded?
I mean, he's just really appreciative, and he just said thank you and I love you guys. And I mean, that's how we feel the same way, and we're going to do a big wall for him, all three of us, our whole team. I don't know, he's done a lot for us and Jordan and just the program in general and everyone who's came through, the staff and everybody. I mean, he just wants to win. He brings that winning mentality every single day. He's consistent. People like to call him crazy or whatever, but I mean that's who he is, and I wouldn't ask it for it to be any other way. His consistency in terms of his approach during practice to the game, he might seem uptight, but he just knows what's at stake and he knows what we can do. And so it just it speaks to his character, thinking that that he believes that much to us, and that's why he is the way he is. Because I mean, once you have that winning mentality and that when it spreads like that, it spreads like wildfire to our team. You never know what could happen.
They were hanging with you guys. I mean, it's 49-44, and you guys went on a 30-5 run. Obviously, it was defensively fueled. What happened during that stretch? Just blow this thing wide open.
It's just defense. It was just us defending and then not letting them get any offensive rebounds. We were just really finishing off the plays, allowing them to get one shot, and that's it. Just really focused on rebounding the ball, and that eliminated a lot of the second chance points, which I feel like that's what really triggered them at their place, is that they got a lot of second chance points. But today we really focused on rebounding and just finishing out the play with a box out and a rebound, and that's what allowed us to get that separation. It had a lot to do with us just being able to make shots too, playing a little bit faster than we did last time, getting transition, getting downhill, things like that. Just hitting open shots, but at the end of the day, it was just us having fun really, and I think that's what put us over the top.
How would you recap this whole regular season? You guys had so many expectations of the 28-3, the best record in school history. I'm pretty proud of what you guys accomplished over the last 4 months.
I mean, it's been a blur. It's been out really, really fast, and it's really, really hard to sit there and embrace and take in every single game because you're so focused on winning and what you need to do to win. But I mean, it's really hard to do something like this, and with the group of guys that we had. We knew we could accomplish that. It was just going to be a long season, and you know, here we are at the end of our regular season and at the end of the conference, and accomplished one goal that we already wanted to do. And, you know, we still have some more that we want to do, but I don't know, man. It went really, really fast. But I mean, these guys and our staff and our teammates and our community, everybody just came together every single night, especially home games, every single night. And I mean, honestly, we couldn't have got it done without the atmosphere that we have here, the way we're always packed every single night. I mean, we got to give a lot of credit to them.
Do things change it all now? Knowing it's just one opponent at a time, you don't have future games on the schedule, it's just about the task at hand.
Yeah, I think, like Coach was saying earlier, I think, you know, everyone felt it on our team. And everybody who's like a Nevada fan knows that we were playing with a lot of pressure throughout the whole season. And, you know, we accomplished one of those goals that we wanted to do. I think, you know, it's the same way that we approached it during the season, one game at a time, but I mean, now it's like, it's tournament time. So like, we're going into our conference tournament, going into it, just making sure that we're taking one game at a time. You can't look ahead and see who we got after the first game or whatever the case is. We just have to make sure we stay prepared like we are every single time, get our rest, and just get our minds focused.
Any more questions for Cody?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Questions for Caleb?
Up your leg.
Good?
Your right leg.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Blood.
You're numb.
I didn't even see that.
You're numb with elation, right?
I don't know, I guess adrenaline, I didn't feel it. I feel like I felt something, I just never looked though.
Okay. What did this night mean to you? This is kind of a carnation for everything you guys have done through your careers here.
You know, it means everything that, you know, sharing moment with my mom in town, and, you know, my people in town, and my brother playing ball the last time, and the crowd was amazing. So obviously, it's going to be one to remember how we end off the season for the 7 seniors that played on this team. And yeah, we couldn't ask for a better ending for the regular season, and for the seniors to go out and, you know, with a bang involved.
Sorry, guys.
You're right. You're right. This is about as good as you could have imagined it going, and I guess at this moment, what are you going to remember when you look back on this thing?
Yeah, winning like that against the team who beat us, and we seen some of the comments before the game that they had, so you know they wanted to try to come in and be part of your owners, so you know we had to welcome them in a correct way to the party. So we're glad it ended off like that, and you know, Lola had a big effect on that and how we played, and you know just the fans bring so much energy to us, and getting to play the last time in front of them, in front of a crowd like that, it's just special. And yeah, I'm gonna just remember this night just because obviously that we get to win the championship, and obviously last time I played with my brother and my mom in town, and but overall just being able to play in front of these fans who are really appreciative of us because we're really appreciative for them and grateful for everything they've done for us this season, and packing Lola every night. You know, a lot of these games could be won without the energy that they bring every night. So we're really grateful for that.
What you won't obviously have is that much energy going forward now, but in terms of what you guys did on the court, especially that second half, you guys obviously can take a lot of that into this tournament season. What went right?
You know, just knowing what's at stake. Like I said again, it's just having 7 seniors on the team and knowing how important it is for guys to cut down nets, and especially when you're at home, and ultimately just doing everything you can to win. That loss that we had to them at their place was in the back of our heads, and we didn't really need too much motivation besides that, honestly. So yeah, we just did everything we could, and we knew the second half, 20 minutes seems like a long time, but it's not. So we had to make sure we had a good start to the second half, and just make sure we honed in on our defense, which we did, and then defense just turned to offense, and things just got rolling for us.
Because at 28 free throw attempts in the second half, I mean, what was the key to getting the line so much?
I think we shot the ball pretty well, so that opened up dribble drive lanes, and really just guys not settling and just being aggressive. We knew that they were going to have a hard time guarding us, and we did a lot of film and went over a lot of prep on how they guarded guys, and I think we executed plays really well, and we just stayed aggressive, trying to get to the paint, get a lot of paint touches, and with JC, we got JC coming down transition and Cody in transition, and those guys are, and we're all coming downhill like that. It's pretty tough to stop, I think, especially when we're in a good groove. So we just stayed, we just kept the pressure on them and just kept attacking on them.
This is part of why you came back for this time of the year now. I mean, you're going to celebrate tonight, obviously, but then you completely refocus. What's going to be the emphasis for you guys as you enter into a part of the year you're very familiar with at this point?
Yeah, it's like a new season. It's like we're starting all over again, and whatever we've done, like today, is just going to be great, and we'll get to remember that and celebrate that tonight or whatever. But then after tonight, it's over. So it's a new season. We focus on the Mountain West tournament, and we owe some guys. We owe some guys pretty much in that tournament, so we're looking forward to that and playing in that, and we're not trying to come home early like we did last year, so we're trying to make sure we go there and get it done.
Any more questions for Caleb?
JC said that you did his hair so he could be a triplet. What did you think of his haircut?
See the influence. See the influence I got on what? He look good out there, man. He got the braids, and they look good. Y'all like him? They look good.
He said Melo on the Nuggets was his inspiration, and that's going way back.
I can see that, like, for real. They were tough, though. I liked them. They'd been really dope if he still had the little blind spot. So one player, that was crazy. So I told him, I like him, though. That made him really lock up on defense for some reason. I don't know what it was about the braids, but he was locking up. So I might tell him to bring those to Vegas. So.
What do you think of your guys' overall regular season 2023? Obviously, a lot of expectations going into the year. Set score record, regular season wins. You're proud of that?
Yeah, I am proud of how we ended up how we played all season, the regular season, because it's tough. It's tough whenever it's so much different whenever guys are gunning for you every game than it is for you to be the underdog. Because you feel like you're protecting something every game, and guys are going to play their best every game. Guys who won't even play good. Certain players who don't even play good, just play out of their mind. So it's tough. Obviously, I wish we could have won undefeated, or maybe just lost, maybe won. But I mean, it is what it is. It just happens whenever you're playing from the top and you're trying to fight guys off you. So it's tough, and I'm really proud of how our guys fought through that type of adversity. And now it's free game. It's not it ain't nobody worried about no rankings or anything like that no more. That's how everybody's on the same level now. So that's how I like it. So.
Does that allow you guys? I mean, does that kind of cater to the way you guys like to play? You like to play free and knowing that there's nothing to look ahead to. It's just what's going down the floor right now.
Yeah, it's just like what's in front of you. You can take, you can hone in on every single game that you're playing, not focus on anything else in front of you. And, I'm not even looking or trying to think about March and Selection Sunday. I don't care about none of that stuff. I'm just care about what's going on in Vegas. Each game that we got, I'm worried about who we got next, and who we ready to start focusing on. So, I'm ready to, for everybody to be on the same level, and for us to not have to play with rankings on our back and pressure or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I think we did a good job handling that stuff all year, but now we got nothing to worry about. So everybody on the same page on that.